I grew up believing that if you stayed quiet and worked hard, life would eventually notice your effort. For many years, it didn't feel that way. My name is Amina, and this is the story of how silence, patience, and quiet determination changed my life. I was the middle daughter in a very traditional family. My older sister, Sarah, was always the star of the house. She was confident, stylish, and knew exactly how to speak in a room full of people. My younger brother, Bilal, was the only son, so naturally everyone adored him. And then there was me. The quiet one. The one who never argued, never complained, and somehow always ended up doing the extra work. I didn't mind at first. I believed everyone had their role in a family. But slowly, little things started to hurt more than I expected. One evening, our relatives came over for dinner. My mother had spent the whole day preparing food, but most of the cooking was actually done by me. As we all sat around the table, my aunt smiled at Sarah and said, "Your daughter is so talented. She must help you a lot in the kitchen." My mother looked at Sarah proudly. "Yes, Sarah is very capable." I stayed quiet. Sarah laughed lightly. "Oh, I just helped a little." I looked down at my plate. No one mentioned that I had cooked almost everything. It was a small moment. But moments like that slowly pile up inside your heart. A few weeks later, my father called us into the living room. Sarah had received a job offer from a well-known company. Everyone was celebrating. My father said proudly, "This is what success looks like. Confidence. Ambition." Then he looked at me. "Amina, you should learn something from your sister." I forced a small smile. "I'm happy for her, Baba." But inside, something felt heavy. Not jealousy. Just invisibility. I had a dream too. It wasn't glamorous. I wanted to build an online business selling handmade home decorations. I loved creating simple things, painted frames, decorated notebooks, little handmade gifts. One evening, I gathered courage and told my family, "I'm thinking of starting a small online store." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Selling crafts?" She laughed softly. "Amina, people don't build careers from hobbies." My father added calmly, "It's better if you find a stable job instead of wasting time." My mother didn't say anything. I nodded quietly. But something inside me whispered, "Just try." So I started. Quietly. I used my small savings to buy materials. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, I worked at my desk. Painting. Designing. Learning about online selling. Some nights I felt hopeful. Other nights I doubted myself. But I kept going. 3 months later, I had my first small online page. Only 37 followers. I was proud anyway. One evening during tea, Sarah noticed me packing an order. "What's that?" she asked. "A customer order," I said softly. She looked surprised. "You actually sold something." Before I could respond, she called my mother. "Ami, look. Amina sold 1 notebook." Everyone laughed lightly. It wasn't cruel laughter, but it was enough. My father shook his head. "Amina, don't build your life on small illusions." I didn't argue. I simply finished packing the order. That night, I sat alone in my room. For the first time, I cried. Not loudly, just quietly. I asked myself one question. Do I want their approval, or do I want my own respect? The answer came slowly. I wanted to respect myself. So the next morning, I woke up earlier than usual. And I worked harder than before. Months passed. My page slowly grew. 50 followers. 200 followers. 500 followers. Every order felt like a tiny victory. But I never told my family much about it anymore. I learned something important. Not every dream needs an audience. Sometimes silence protects it. One afternoon, I received an email. A small lifestyle store wanted to sell my handmade frames in their shop. I read the message 3 times to make sure it was real. My hands were shaking as I replied, "Yes, I would love to work with you." For the next few weeks, I worked day and night preparing products. My room became a tiny workshop. Paint, ribbons, paper, and designs everywhere. I was tired, but deeply happy. One Sunday afternoon, my cousin visited our house. She had recently moved to another city. While talking, she mentioned something unexpected. "There's a cute shop near my apartment that sells beautiful handmade frames. The brand name is Quiet Nest." My heart skipped. That was my brand name. Sarah asked curiously, "Who makes them?" My cousin shrugged. "I don't know. But they're very popular." I stayed silent. No one realized. 6 months later, something big happened. The same store invited me to participate in a local home decor exhibition. It was my first public event. I was nervous. Terrified, actually. But I said yes. For 2 weeks, I prepared my best designs. On the morning of the exhibition, I dressed simply and carried my products to the venue. The hall was beautiful. Soft lights. Decorated stalls. Creative people everywhere. For the first time, I felt like I belonged somewhere. Around noon, I saw familiar faces walking into the hall. My parents. Sarah. Bilal. I froze. Apparently, my cousin had told them about the exhibition. They were just visiting. They didn't know I was part of it. Sarah stopped in front of my stall. Her eyes widened. "Amina." My mother looked around in surprise. "These are yours." I nodded quietly. "Yes." My father picked up one of the frames. He examined it carefully. Then he looked at the price tag. He seemed shocked. "You sell these?" "Yes." People started coming to my stall. Customers. Buyers. They were asking questions, complimenting my work, placing orders. My family stood there silently watching. For the first time in my life. They saw me. Later that evening, after the exhibition ended, we sat together at home. My father spoke first. "Amina, why didn't you tell us your business had grown this much?" I answered honestly. "I tried to tell you in the beginning." No one spoke for a moment. Sarah looked down. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I didn't take you seriously." I smiled gently. "It's okay." Because it truly was. Not everything needs resentment. Some things simply need time. A year later, my small brand had grown into a full online store. I worked with 2 assistants. My products were sold in 3 different cities. But the biggest change wasn't financial. It was internal. I had learned something powerful. You don't always need to prove people wrong. Sometimes you just need to prove yourself right. Today, when women ask me how I handled the doubt and humiliation, I tell them this. Silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is where strength grows. People may overlook you. They may misunderstand you. They may underestimate your dreams. But if you keep working quietly and consistently, one day your results will speak louder than your words ever could. And when that day comes, you won't feel the need to say, "I told you so." Because the real victory will already be inside you.